Hello, my incredible listener. Welcome back to Decode Your English, the channel where we don't just learn English, we transform through it. I'm so thrilled you're here today because we're diving into something unique, something that's going to spark a light in your mind, metacognition. Now, I know that word might sound a bit intimidating, metacognition. What's that? Don't worry, it's not as complex as it seems. By the end of this episode, you'll not only know exactly what it means, but you'll also see how it can change the way you learn, make decisions, and grow as a person. This is a game changer for your English journey and beyond. So let's embark on this adventure together. Ready? Let's jump in. What is metacognition? So, let's get straight to it. What is metacognition? In simple terms, metacognition is thinking about your thinking. That's right, it's like stepping outside your mind and observing how it works. Picture yourself watching your thoughts like they're a movie playing on a screen. You're not just thinking, you're aware of how you're thinking and why. For example, imagine you're learning new English words. If you just memorize them without considering how you learn best, you might forget them quickly. But if you pause and ask, what helps me remember better, writing the words, saying them out loud, or using flashcards? That's metacognition. You're not just studying, you're analyzing how you study. Why does this matter? Because so many of us move through life on autopilot, repeating habits or mistakes without questioning them. Metacognition gives you the power to pause, reflect, and make smarter choices. It's like creating a small space between your actions and reactions, a space where you can ask, why am I doing this? Is this working? Could I try something different? That space is where growth happens. Whether you're learning English, tackling challenges, or navigating emotions, metacognition helps you slow down, understand your mind, and take control. Today, we're going to unpack this concept, explore how it shows up in your life, and discover practical ways to use it to become a more confident, thoughtful, and effective learner. Let's dive deeper, breaking down the word to really understand metacognition. Let's break it apart. The word has two parts, meta and cognition. Let's start with cognition. This comes from the Latin word cognoscere, meaning to know. Cognition is all about your mental processes, how you think, learn, solve problems, and understand the world. It's your brain in action, whether you're memorizing vocabulary or making decisions. Now, the prefix meter comes from Greek and means beyond or about. So, metacognition literally means thinking about thinking. It's like holding a mirror up to your mind, observing what's going on inside. Imagine you're walking through a forest, seeing only the trees in front of you. Now, picture yourself in a hot air balloon, rising above the forest, seeing the paths, rivers, and the bigger picture. That's metacognition, a bird's eye view of your thoughts. Here's an example. Let's say you're reading an English article, but your mind keeps wandering. You've read the same sentence 3 times, and it's still not sinking in. We've all been there, right? If you just keep reading without noticing, you might not learn much. But if you stop and think, wait, I'm not focusing, what's going on? That's metacognition. You're coaching your own mind, observing what it's doing, and adjusting your approach. Maybe you decide to slow down or take a break. That's you taking control. And it's a small but powerful step. Why metacognition matters, you might be wondering. Okay, this sounds interesting. But why should I care? Great question. Metacognition is like a superpower for learning, decision-making, and personal growth. It's not just for students or experts, it's for everyone, every day. Think about a time you studied hard, but felt like nothing stuck. Maybe you were learning English, listening to podcasts, or memorizing words, but your speaking didn't improve. Without metacognition, you might keep doing the same thing, hoping for better results. But with metacognition, you pause and ask, is this working? What could I do differently? Maybe you realize you learn better by speaking with a friend or teaching someone else. That's metacognition, saving you time and frustration. It also helps with emotional challenges. like speaking in public. If you're nervous, metacognition lets you notice thoughts like, what if I mess up? And challenge them with, is this fear realistic? What's the worst that could happen? By observing your thoughts, you take back control, calm your mind, and perform better. Metacognition even helps in conflicts. Imagine a heated argument with a friend. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause and ask, why am I upset? What's the best way to respond? That moment of reflection turns a reaction into a thoughtful response, improving your relationships. In short, metacognition helps you learn smarter, grow faster, and live with more intention. It's about understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and habits so you can make better choices and stop repeating the same mistakes. It's the key to living with purpose, not just going through the motions. Metacognition in daily life. Metacognition isn't just for studying, it's a tool for everyday life. Let's look at some common situations where it can make a difference. Take procrastination. For example, we've all put off tasks like studying or replying to an email and ended up scrolling on our phones instead. Metacognition helps you pause and ask, why am I avoiding this? Maybe it's because the task feels overwhelming or you're afraid of not doing it perfectly. Once you notice that, you can challenge it. I don't need to be perfect, I just need to start. Or consider overthinking. Have you ever replayed an awkward moment in your head, worrying about what someone thought of you? Metacognition lets you catch those thoughts and ask, is this helping me? Or is it just making me feel worse? By shifting your focus, you break the cycle of overthinking. Here's a personal story. A while back, I was working on a project and kept rewriting my notes, trying to make them perfect. I was stuck, frustrated, and wasting time. Then I stopped and asked, why am I doing this? I realized I was afraid of criticism. Once I acknowledged that, I told myself, progress is better than perfection. That small shift helped me finish the project and feel proud, even if it wasn't flawless. Metacognition also helps with habits, like studying English daily. If you skip a day, instead of feeling guilty, ask, what stopped me? Was my plan realistic? Maybe you need to study in the morning instead of at night. By reflecting, you adjust and stay consistent. Journaling is another great way to practice metacognition. Writing down your thoughts helps you see patterns, what stresses you, what energizes you, and how you think. Even 5 minutes a day can reveal insights that guide you toward better decisions. The two parts of metacognition to understand how metacognition works. Let's break it into two parts: metacognitive knowledge and metacognitive regulation. Metacognitive knowledge is what you know about your thinking. It's understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and learning preferences. For example, maybe you know you learn English better by speaking than reading, or that you focus best in the morning. This awareness helps you choose strategies that work for you. Metacognitive regulation is about managing your thinking. It involves planning, monitoring, and adjusting your approach. Let's say you're learning new words. You plan to write sentences with them knowledge. As you study, you check, is this helping me remember? If not, you switch to speaking the words aloud. Regulation. These two parts work together. Knowledge helps you understand your mind, and regulation lets you use the understanding to stay on track. For example, if you're preparing for an exam, you might plan to study in short bursts, monitor your focus, and reflect afterward on what worked. That's metacognition in action. Barriers to metacognition. Projecting metacognition isn't always easy. Let's talk about some common barriers. Self-doubt is a big one. Thoughts like, I'm not smart enough, or I'll never get this, can stop you from reflecting. Instead of asking, how can I improve? You might think, what's wrong with me? Negative self-talk, like I always fail, reinforces this, making it hard to learn from mistakes. Fear of failure is another obstacle. You might avoid trying something new because you're scared of getting it wrong. But metacognition helps you see failure as information, not the end. Cultural influences can also play a role. In some environments, questioning or reflecting is discouraged. You're told to follow instructions or focus on results. This can make metacognition feel unnatural. Finally, distractions like notifications or a busy schedule can keep you in autopilot mode, leaving no space to reflect. The good news: these barriers can be overcome. Start by noticing them. When self-doubt creeps in, ask, "Is this true?" Take small steps, even if you're nervous, and carve out quiet moments to reflect. Even if it's just a minute a day. How to practice metacognition. Oh, let's get practical. How do you make metacognition a habit? Here are some simple ways to start. Mental check-ins. Pause during or after a task and ask, "What am I doing? Is it working? What could I do differently?" For example, if you're studying English, check if your method is helping you retain information. Journaling. Write a few sentences daily about what you learned, what worked, or what didn't. For example, I studied for 20 minutes but got distracted. Next time, I'll turn off my phone. Ask better questions. Instead of "Why am I bad at this?" ask, "What can I try next?" This shifts you from feeling stuck to being curious. Self-monitoring. During tasks, notice your thoughts. If you're nervous in a conversation, ask, "Why am I feeling this way?" This helps you adjust in the moment, plan, and reflect. Before a task, set a goal and plan your approach. Afterward, review what worked and what didn't. For example, before a speaking practice, decide to use new phrases, then reflect on how it went. These habits don't require hours, just a few moments of curiosity and honesty. Over time, they become second nature, helping you learn and live with more clarity. Metacognition and personal growth. Metacognition isn't just about learning, it's about growing as a person. It fosters mindfulness, helping you slow down and live with intention. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond thoughtfully, making better decisions. It also builds confidence. By understanding your strengths and challenges, you trust yourself more. You stop chasing perfection and focus on progress, celebrating small wins along the way. Finally, metacognition strengthens resilience. When setbacks happen, you reflect on what you learned instead of giving up. Questions like "What went wrong?" or "What can I try next?" help you bounce back faster. Growth starts with curiosity about your mind. By asking simple questions, "Why did I react that way?" or "What helped me today?" you shape your life with purpose. Metacognition isn't just a tool for learning, it's a path to becoming a more mindful, confident, and resilient version of yourself. Conclusion: let's take a breath and bring it all together today. We've explored the incredible world of metacognition, thinking about your thinking. We've seen how it helps you learn smarter, make better decisions, and grow as a person. By pausing to observe your thoughts, you take control of your mind, turning challenges into opportunities and mistakes into lessons. I want to leave you with a few questions to carry forward. When was the last time you noticed how you were thinking? What did you learn about yourself today? And what small change could you make to think more clearly and kindly about yourself? Maybe it's pausing when you're stressed, writing one thought before bed, or simply noticing your inner voice. If you can, take a moment after this episode to reflect. Jot down a thought, say it out loud, or just sit with it. That small act of awareness is where growth begins. Thank you for joining me today. Your time, focus, and openness means so much. I hope this episode sparked new ideas and inspired you to explore your mind with curiosity. If you found this helpful, come back for more, share it with a friend, and keep growing both in English and in life. Until next time, stay curious, take care of your mind, and keep thinking about your thinking. You're doing better than you think.